everyone, I hope you've had a beautiful week this week. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to get straight into the reading today. This is obviously the normal Sunday reading that I do. If you're new to the channel, I do this reading as many Sundays as I can manage, to be fair. Anyway, that's another story. But anyway, so yeah, thank you for joining me. This is a reading for those of you who have a divine masculine in a karmic relationship at the moment. I'm going to start off this week by looking at the energy of the divine masculine. I like to mix it up a bit, and this week, as I say, rather than looking at joint energy first, I want to have a look at his energy. Then we'll see what's impacting on his energy and how the karmic's responding. So, I'm noticing we have some of these cards that are upside down. So, let's go with the flow. Spirit, we're looking at the divine masculine, please. Could you give us 4 cards if possible? Thank you. Ooh, wow, that's a good start. Look at this. Action. Okay, we're going to fit the 4 in. Sometimes I go for 3, but I'm going to be... For some reason, I need 4 today. What else do we have for the divine masculine, please? How's he feeling, Spirit? Oop. Oop. Oh, gosh. Again, we have this community card. Fascinating. I'll come back to the cards in a moment if you're not used to my readings. I just like to get the 4 out. Ooh, we have some hostilities. Now, that's interesting. One more, please, Spirit, if we can. Indecision. Okay. Now, this is very interesting. I shall tell you for why. You know, in recent weeks, we've been seeing the divine masculine right on the brink of taking action. So I love the fact that we're seeing the action card first today. Things were going quite smoothly. He and the karmic were in a similar place in that they were both ready to move on and go their separate ways. You know, both feeling, yeah, I suppose a tinge of sadness about it, but ready to just, move on quite positively, really. And what was interesting about it was that when I said, oh gosh, the community card, there's been a lot of people around them all the time. For months now, we've seen how people around them have been reacting, encouraging, discouraging, and giving their opinions, frankly. And, sometimes that's helped and sometimes it hasn't. But moving forward to this week, we see the divine masculine here trying to take some action of some sort. Now, we'll have a look at what this action is in greater detail in just a moment. But what's interesting here is there seems to have been some reaction to the action from the community. So, I think the divine masculine has always tried to be cautious about this action because he knows it's going to cause ripples in the people around him. It could be, the karmic's family, it could be his own family, it could be just friends that know both of them. So he's always been very cautious, but it looks like he's beginning to take some action. He may be talking to people in the community about it, about the plans. It'd be interesting to see if the karmic's also talking to people in the community. We'll look in a moment. But, this week we see him pushing forward, taking that next step. They've just said brave to me. So, this has taken some courage on his part. However it looks, from us looking onto this situation, this has taken a lot of courage for the divine masculine to do because he knows he's got people that are going to react in not a very good way. And sure enough, we have the card of hostilities here. So whatever action he's taking, there's people around, they don't like it, And I'm not talking the karmic here, I'm talking people in the community. As I said, friends, family, neighbours, whoever, they're not liking it. So he's brave enough to take this action. Please remember, it's not gender specific. As I say every week, it could be a she, your divine masculine. Take it as it resonates with you. But, you know, finally they're brave enough to take this action. They knew it wasn't going to be easy. And sure enough, here's the hostilities from people around them regarding the action the Divine Masculine is taking. Now, what that seems to have done, and we will get some more information, so please don't panic, is cause him a bit of indecision. You know, he's thinking, oh, you know, there may be people in this community that are very persuasive, that may be singing the praises of the karmic, that may be saying, you know, if you do this, this is going to impact on this person and they'll never recover. You know, emotional blackmail stuff, frankly. You know, so it's left him thinking, oh no, and just seeded that element of doubt. This is very, very interesting this week, because although we've got this indecision card here, for me, it looks like he's taken a real big step forward. This is where life gets really tricky, because this is where he's got to act on all the planning that he's been doing for the last few months. So, interesting. I don't know whether to stay with the Divine Masculine at this moment in time, or whether to go to the Karmic. And let's go to the Karmic and see if her energies match that of the Divine Masculine. Then we're going to go through and see what this is about, and then finally we'll see what action they're going to take. So, which do we need for the Karmic, please? What are the Karmic things this week, energies this week? These ones. Okay, let's just put some more oracle for the Karmic. So, what are the energies of the Karmic this week, please? Thank you. Ooh, we have blessed. I'll come back to them in a second. I'm not going to comment too much. Serendipity. Oh, they've just said to me, what goes around comes around. So, that's an interesting thing. Oh, okay. We have deep knowing, but it's in reverse. One more, please. We have imagine. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. And it's interesting because, you know, I said with the community, well, one of the groups of people I said it could be was the Karmic's family. I do wonder if there's a bit of a reaction here, because here we have in first instance, regarding this action that the Divine Masculine is taking, the Karmic is actually feeling quite relieved about that. She's feeling relieved that, because remember last week, she was ready to go her own way. You know, she was ready to sort of, in fact, she was seeking out new people, wasn't she? Because this Karmic likes to be with somebody. She feels more secure, stable when she's with somebody. So, you know, now that the Divine Masculine is taking action, she was feeling quite positive about it, because it frees her up to actually go and do what she wants to do. But there's an element of her being happy that the Divine Masculine is getting his just desserts. So we have serendipity here, which is normally a card of luck, as we see from the four-leaf clover. It's a card of, you know, what's meant to be is meant to be. I don't want to say destiny, because I don't feel it's that powerful a card, but it's that sort of feeling, you know. Yeah, and so it's almost like she's saying, if he's getting grief from the community, because I'm going to sit there and pretend I did nothing, excuse me, but, you know, then, you know, she is standing back, and especially if this is her family or her friends who have strong words, I think, and are very hostile towards the Divine Masculine, you know, there is a part of the Karmic that's saying, yeah, you know, what goes around comes around. You know, you wanted to leave, so you've got to deal with the consequences. That's the feeling I'm getting from this card, which is interesting because it's not a negative card. But from the karmic's point of view, she feels quite sort of, in a way, it brings her a sense of stability because she feels she's getting support for her role in this, whereas the divine masculine is putting up with the hostilities. And, you know, it's confirmed here really because, you know, that insight, that inner knowledge, that inner understanding that she had over the last few weeks, she's now closing her mind to it. You know, the owlet obviously is a sign of wisdom. We have it in reverse here. So, you know, she's just thinking, you know, nothing to do with me. You know, I'm not going to take responsibility here. You know, I'm going to pretend that he's not having a hard time. If he does, then yeah, that's what he deserves. You know, there's almost this feeling about it this week when it's a bit unfair, to be honest, because in actual fact, when he took action, she was quite pleased about it. She thought, thank goodness, I'm relieved. Now we can finally get on with our lives. So, in a way, she's left in a quandary in the same way that the divine masculine is. Because while he's, you know, having these elements of doubt because he's under a lot of pressure from people around them, it's making her think, not necessarily, I don't get the feeling that she wants him to stay, but I think she's sitting there and imagining, oh my goodness, what does this mean for me? What's going to happen? What if he decides to stay? Because actually at the moment, I feel quite blessed about the action he's taking. But if he bends under this pressure, oh my goodness, how's it going to be? You know? Interesting. So let's find out more about what this community role is and, you know, what's happening here. In fact, we'll do the cards between them, I think, because it's impacting on both of them, but in different ways. Yeah, let's go for these. So what's the action, Spirit, that the divine masculine has, oh, thank you, taken? Yeah, look. We love this card, Divine Femmes. This is about the divine masculine wanting to return to a previous situation. This is a reunion card, you know, something from his past. You know, can relate to issues in his childhood, but no. I think in this context, this is about him wanting to leave and wanting to go to his divine femme because he knows that's where he belongs, you know. And I think, you know, the karmic has lived under the shadow of that because she's known about the divine femme for a very long time. Some of these karmics actually know you physically, divine femmes, and she's known for ages but denied it because she wanted to hold on to him. She wanted to be the divine femme, but now she's given up. And so, you know, here he is. This is the action he's taking. He's taking the first steps to, you know, return to the love in his past. So that's why he's getting a reaction from the community. What is this reaction? What is this reaction that, or who are these people? Can we do that again, Spirit, please? Oh, they didn't like that, did they? Let me just pick this card up. Sorry. We have two on the floor. Oh, gosh. They don't want to be picked up either, so that's interesting. Yeah, the community have reacted because they see, where are we? We have the Knight of Cups. So we see him, hang on, I'm going to juggle all these cards in my hands. It's not like I've got little hands either. The community are seeing the divine masculine taking action and offering his cup of love to somebody else. And that is why they're reacting. This is him at the beginning of action. They think that if the community think that if they can nip this in the bud, so this may well be the karmic's family, because maybe the karmic hasn't been honest with them about how she's feeling, that she's feeling okay about it. She's maybe playing the victim, which is why they're trying to protect her. And you know, they see him taking these first steps. They're trying to stop him from giving his love to somebody else and actually taking that, you know, starting that action. So, you know, it may be that there are family members that try to intervene if he tries to message you. There may be, you know, maybe monitoring where he's going, you know, any of that type of thing. But it seems like they're doing that on the karmic's behalf. What about the hostilities? You know, what hostilities is the divine masculine putting up with here, please? Yeah, look, he's... Who is this spirit? Okay, what they're saying, because when I first pulled this, I thought it was a divine masculine energy. It's not. And this is why he's wobbly and got indecision here, because these hostilities that he's facing are the people around he and the karmic trying to balance things out, trying to calm things down, trying to stop this action from happening. So they're using whatever methods they can to actually pull him back the other way. So if they see him going with loving energy towards someone else, they're coming in hard to pull him back the other way to maintain the balance. Spirit have just said they've got something to gain. I love the fact we have the cat here with the cake down here. The cat has got something to gain here also. And it's like the cat that's got the cream, really. There's something with this family or these friends or whoever it is that's putting in this opposition to the divine masculine moving forward. There's something that they're gaining from this situation. And it may just be that they're gaining a sense of balance in their lives, that, you know, they have, you know, their family member who's the karmic, or their friend who's the karmic, who has been, you know, in their eyes, quite settled and quite happy. And they like it that way, you know. But what they don't realise is that we've seen through the readings for the last few months that the karmic and the divine masculine have both been wearing masks in this relationship. It's not been real. But they've put on such a good show for the people around them that people believe them. You know? So people are, you know, these people in the community are trying to bring back this sense of what they see as harmony to the situation, to stop the divine masculine moving back towards the divine femme. Now, the community may not know about you, divine femme. The community may just feel that he's got his eye on somebody else. You know, they may put it that casually because they may not realise, because they may not have been told. Some of them will have been, because the karmic will have been talking to somebody. That's the feeling I get. But others, they just won't know. So it'll all be a bit baffling for them, because they've gone from watching this couple wearing masks to actually, you know, them, the divine masculine taking whatever this action is. So we have a, yeah, look. Okay, so we have the divine masculine feeling very burdened at the moment, because they've put him in this opposition has put him back into indecisiveness. Now, I do feel this is temporary. I don't feel that he's going to change his mind about what he wants, because he's very clear over here about what he wants. And actually, so is the divine feminine, so is the karmic. She's clear because she was happy with that decision, because they've been through too much, to be honest. You know? So now that he's having all this opposition, and remember this divine masculine has been trying to please people for a long time, keep everybody happy. Now they're not happy with him, he's feeling burdened again. So the divine masculine's not in a particularly happy place at the moment, but we knew that he had to go through this in order to get to where he needs to be. That's the whole point of a karmic relationship. You have to go through hard times for your soul to grow, so that you can move on to the good times, you know. And interestingly, although perhaps not to the same degree, like we said earlier, it's putting the karmic in a sense of indecision as well. Because she's thinking, well, I thought our plans were all sorted and we knew what we were doing. But, oh my goodness, what if he changes his mind? I'm ready to move on now. I like the fact that I'm being defended and I like the fact that I can play the victim. But actually, what if he does stay? Am I going to see that as a burden? How am I going to deal with that? You know? As they said, what goes around comes around, karmic. You know? Excuse me. So, let's see what's going to happen next. Let's see. Ooh, let's stick with tarot and let's see. Which cards are we using, please? Okay. Let's see. Let's see. So I'm doing this slowly because they keep guiding me to some cards over here, but I don't know which ones. I'm trying to figure out why at the moment. We can't use that deck, spirits, we just used it. There's a card, I have to stop a moment, sorry. There's a card in this deck, which is the first deck that we used. There's something they want us to see here because they keep guiding me back to it, even though I'm trying to use those. So for the time being, let's just lay some cards here. Oh, it must be this one because they've presented it. Okay, that's what they wanted us to see. They said, don't be alarmed about the indecision, Divine Femme, because in actual fact, the Divine Masculine is spending a lot of time trying to figure this all out. You know, he's trying to navigate all the hostilities that he's facing at the moment. And, you know, he's thinking through his plan. And again, he has to think through how he can do it without upsetting everybody, which he's got to realise at some stage in his life it's impossible. Bless him. No, but you know what I mean? You know, he wants that crystal clear clarity. Can you see the crystal that this guy's holding? You know, there's a lot of thinking going on. He's really thinking through the best possible way. So it may be that the people around him have been picking some holes in the plan that he has. So, for example, if there's a house or some children involved in this situation, it may be that somebody in the community has pointed out, a gap in the plan for that house or those children, you know. So it may be that this is maybe why we've got this indecision, actually. That may be part of it, that he's now thinking, oh, actually, yeah, we thought we'd sorted that, but I've really got to think that through again. So it could be something to do with, say, access to children. It could be something to do with, you know, either buying or renting a new property for the karmic or the Divine Masculine. It could be any of those things, but he's certainly thinking things through. Again, I don't get the feeling that he's thinking whether he should leave or not, because I think that is a done deal, because he knows that he and the karmic have made that decision and he's happy with that. But there's something that he's thinking through that he hadn't considered before. Let's see what else. What else is here about what's going to happen next, Spirit? Sorry, I missed that. Is it that one? Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah. We have Archangel Raphael in the mix, and that is fabulous, because if ever there's any relationship issues of any type, this is the Archangel you need to be speaking to. Archangel Raphael is full of love and full of healing for all relationships. So, you know, if ever you feel in need of that sort of support, or you want some support for you and your twin flame, then, you know, Archangel Raphael is the person to speak to, or the Archangel to speak to. So it's lovely that Archangel Raphael's come up now, and this is probably again why they wanted me to revisit these cards, because, you know, while the Divine Masculine's trying to figure it all out again in his headspace, his heart is being protected by Archangel Raphael, and this situation is being protected. So, you know, that's really reassuring. So he's going to be guided through by Archangel Raphael. Yeah. And, you know, here we have cornucopia, which is fabulous because, you know, that's sort of the epitome of all that he's worked for, all that he dreams of. So, you know, his return to the divine feminine is what he's dreaming of. It's what he wants. It's his cornucopia. And Archangel Raphael is there to ensure that that can happen, that he will get out of this situation exactly the outcome that he wants. It will all come together. Right, we can put those cards aside now and come back to the tarot. So what's going to be the result of him thinking things through, please? Meanwhile, as she drops the cards, sorry, folks. What's going to be the result of him thinking things through? Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands indeed. Look at the beautiful colours. Sorry, I'm kind of from a little dream there. Look at the little colours there, you know. All about ideas, all about action, you know. And it's interesting because I find this card, sorry, this has really distracted me, this card, because I find this fascinating. When I look at this card, I see the ideas, I see ideas lighting up, I see, you know, for me, it looks a very light energy. It looks like the ideas are going to spring forth. But what we see here is a burdened looking man. And remember, we've just had the Ten of Wands. We've just had him, you know, the divine masculine feeling burdened, feeling stressed because they've put in this element of doubt or this, you know, issue that they've brought up in the community. You know, and here we have the Ten of Wands again, but this Ten of Wands has a different feeling. Even though the Ten of Wands is about burdens, yes, he's feeling very burdened. So at the moment, while he's seeking this clarity, look at this shining light here. It's picking up colours in this clear crystal. And here we have the colours. For me, this is progression. Because yes, he's feeling burdened by it because he just felt that now he was so close to just walking and putting this all behind him. But actually, he's now got to rethink something. And, you know, yes, that makes him feel very burdened, but the ideas are going to flow. That is what I feel from this card. So I don't think it's going to take long for him to actually figure it all out, you know? Because although, yes, that is a card of burden, those bright lights lift the energy of that card. And I do feel that it's not going to be long before he finds a solution to this, whatever this issue is, or the resistance that he's getting. So what is Archangel Raphael going to help the Divine Masculine with, please? I missed it. Sorry, Spirit. Oop, okay. King of Wands, yeah, it's going to put him in a very decisive, action-orientated sort of feeling. You know, he's going to follow what's in his heart. As I said, Archangel Raphael is there with a lot of love, a lot of loving energy, looks after your heart chakra. And, you know, he's going to make sure that he takes action to lead him towards what he wants to do. The King of Wands is a planner as well. You know, he's meticulous in his planning, but he knows what he wants and he takes action to get there. So Archangel Raphael will give him that support, you know, in order to have the strength in his heart to go for what he wants, which we know is his divine femme, his cornucopia. They threw out a card with this. Yeah, the Hermit. Yeah, they want me to take it in reverse. He's coming out of the hermit mode. So where we see him thinking over here as the thinking man, he has these ideas coming to him. They're showing us that he will become the King of Wands, he will actually take that action towards, you know, the loving energy, towards, you know, his heart's desires. He's coming out of hermit mode. He'll have done all his thinking. Hopefully all his overthinking will be done as well. And what will this cornucopia look like? Gosh, yeah. Wow, look at this. We have the Hierophant, which is all about, he will have learnt lessons from this whole experience. You know, when he finally reaches his destination, you know, his dream come true, he will have healed a lot as well. But he'll have learnt an awful lot, gained the wisdom he needs to make better decisions in the future. But I loved because we have the card of Temperance, which again is this balance that the people around him were trying to draw back, the harmony they wanted in their lives, you know, that they thought was needed in this situation. You know, and here he is. He's feeling a lot more balanced, but not with the karmic. He's feeling more balanced in himself. He's feeling more peaceful in himself. You know, he's got that sort of yin and yang thing going on. Seriously? Spiritual language. But you know what I mean? So he's feeling a lot more grounded. He's learnt his lessons. He's healing from this situation and feeling a lot more balanced. So yes, we have a blip, but we knew we had to go through this, didn't we, everybody? Because we knew that when, you know, whatever secrets and, you know, untruths they've been living in this relationship eventually had to come out. And it looks like they're coming out at the moment, and this is the resistance that is happening. But it's a blip that will be worked through. Yes, it's causing him some stress, but he will work through. He will come out in Wands energy where he's just going to take the action regardless. And he's going to reach his cornucopia with his balance and his peacefulness and the lessons learned. What could be better than that? Honestly, what could be better than that? So, what are the messages for... So I didn't even finish my sentence. They do make me laugh. So I was just going to say, what are the messages for the Divine Feminine? They want you to know that a fiery climax approaches. This isn't between you and the Divine Masculine. This is regarding this situation. And this is basically just... It doesn't mean there's going to be major rows here. It means there's hostilities here. And that's what they're trying to tell us, you know, that he's going through the hard stuff at the moment. That's what they want you to know. He's going through the really tricky stuff where he's going to worry about being judged by other people. What else, please? Yeah. Divine Femme, your dreams need a practical plan. So, you know, start thinking about if your Divine Masculine suddenly messages you after you've not heard from him for goodness knows how long, or if he suddenly just turns up, how are you going to manage that? What's it going to physically look like? Time to do some law of attraction, I think. Time to do some scripting, maybe. Because it's very interesting, isn't it? You get a sort of all wrapped up in the romance of everything, but how practically is that going to work for you? Do we have another one for the Divine Femme Spirit? Do we have that one? We have those two. Okay. Yeah. So what they're saying to us is a personal issue reaches resolution. So this is why they're telling you to start thinking about the practicalities, because your Divine Masculine, yes, he's going to finally, when he reaches his dream, become more balanced, etc., and more, you know, he will have learnt his lessons, but he's going to come to you maybe slightly differently than the person you knew before, you know. And how's he going to fit in with your life? How are you going to fit in with his? Something that Spirit just want you to consider, because they say, you know, this is all, it's going to reach a resolution. And at the moment, your commitment is being tested. Okay. So I'm going to end it there. I hope you found this week's reading useful. If you did, please click the like button, and please don't forget to subscribe if you're joining us for the first time. It's really good to read for you today, and this is, yeah, I found this really quite interesting today. It's my favourite word, interesting, isn't it? I say it far too often. Anyway, lovely to read for you. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and please take from this reading what resonates and please leave what doesn't. Take care, everyone. Speak to you soon. Bye.